Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda, and welcome to our channel. The Ignition Time channel is about the country, the economy, as well as our money. My goal is to bring you the truth wherever the truth might lead us. I'm actually not in this for views, for subscribers, and clicks. I'm in this because this is my way of giving back to our country, to our community. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. This right here is a little bit of information about me. You learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. Please click the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications if you learn something new from this video. I'm going to reveal the biggest issue facing the US economy this summer. Some shocking new data. Let's just jump right in. Let's start with this headline on your screen from Fox Business. A worker shortage is the biggest issue facing the US economy this summer, according to the United States Chamber of Commerce. In fact, the United States Chamber of Commerce estimated that there are about 1.2 available workers per job opening. And if you thought that was interesting, here's another article on your screen from Bloomberg Law. Half of US hospitality workers will not return in job crunch. In fact, a majority said no to a pay increase. And in fact, they said, even if you pay me more, I'm not coming back. Let's just jump right in, everybody. Let's take a look at what's going on. As you know, there's a worker shortage across the country. In fact, the Labor Department reported this week that the United States had a little more than 9.2 million vacant job openings, which is a record-shattering number, despite the 9.3 million unemployed Americans. So, what does this actually mean? Let's compare these numbers with the pre-pandemic numbers. Prior to the pandemic, there were roughly 7 million available jobs. After the pandemic, there are 9.2 million jobs. So the US Chamber of Commerce estimated that there are about 1.2 available workers per job opening. Before the crisis, the ratio was hovering right around 1. Now, although these ratios are pretty close, there are key differences between the pre-pandemic situation and the post-pandemic situation. Previously, the major issue was that available workers didn't have the skills to fill those openings. Now, there are other factors at work. In fact, here's a comment from the US Chamber of Commerce economist Curtis Dubé. He wrote this: while some skill mismatches remain, the major problem is that the available workers are reluctant to go back to work, whether because of lingering COVID concerns, childcare issues, or generous unemployment benefits. Now, the latest June payroll report from the US Labor Department revealed that the economy added 855,000 jobs last month, which actually exceeded the prediction of 700,000. The problem is that the long-term unemployed are on the rise. In fact, 2.9 million individuals are long-term unemployed. They've been unemployed for 6 months or more out of the 10 million individuals who are currently unemployed. Now, here's a problem. And by the way, this is also from the US Chamber of Commerce. There are still far too many job openings, and if available workers do not fill them, it could stifle what should be a booming economy the rest of the year. As you know, 26 states, nearly all of them led by Republican governors, announced plans to prematurely end one of 3 pandemic relief programs that provided the extra $300 a week. And 4 states have announced plans to provide low-income workers with a financial incentive to return to work. Now, the US Chamber of Commerce did support this, and they said unemployed Americans are seeking some type of financial bonus before returning to work. Nearly 4 in 10 people who lost their jobs during the pandemic said that a $1,000 hiring bonus would make them more likely to return to work full-time. Now, what's interesting is that this percentage was particularly high amongst younger workers between the ages of 25 and 34, and those with some college education but not a degree. In the meantime, let's take a look at this other article from Bloomberg Law. Half of US hospitality workers will not return in a job crunch. In fact, a majority said that even with a pay increase, they would not go back. So, more than half of US hospitality workers in bars, in restaurants, would not go back to their old jobs, and over a third are saying that they will not even re-enter the industry. No pay increase or incentives would make these workers return to their previous workforce, according to a poll of 13,000 job seekers during the second quarter from Joblist, an unemployment search engine. They wanted higher pay, they want a less physically demanding workforce, and better benefits. Let's take a look at this image on your screen from Bloomberg. These are unpopular jobs. These are the reasons why former US hospitality workers are actually not going to go back to their old job and they are looking at working in other industries. They are looking at changing their careers. They are looking at completely changing their occupation. They want a different work setting. They want higher pay. They want better benefits. They want more flexibility in their schedule, and they want the opportunity to work remotely. Let me know what you think about this, about these huge challenges facing the nation. The fact that there's a worker shortage, the fact that hospitality as an industry has been changed forever because half of US hospitality workers simply said they will not return in a post-pandemic world. People want more flexibility. People want higher pay. And people want to be able to do a job where they can work from home, create their own hours, focus on other interests, whether it's spending time with family, whether it's pursuing their hobbies, or maybe even having a side business. This is a post-pandemic world, and this is the new reality of the workforce in America post-pandemic. In fact, I would go so far as to say that this is the biggest issue facing the US economy this summer. The fact that certain industries will never ever have enough employees, and other industries will now see a surge in hiring, a surge in employees. And a lot of recent data from the US Chamber of Commerce and the Small Business Administration has revealed that the number of new businesses being registered has increased at a record pace. This basically means that more and more people are starting to form more new businesses, which I predict will lead to a surge in innovation across our country. I believe this will lead to a surge of good jobs, but it's going to take some time. It could take a couple of years, it could take several years, but I do believe we'll come out of this stronger. And my message to all our viewers and subscribers is, if you're not happy with your old job, try to learn a new skill. Try to improve your skills so that if and when you seek another job, you'll be more productive. You'll enjoy your job. You'll be able to climb up the ladder and make more money and live the American dream. If you want to start your own business, more power to you. If you want to start your own YouTube channel, do it. But always focus on improving your skills, and always try and surround yourself with people who you aspire to be like. People that you can learn from, mentors that you can look up to so that you can follow in their footsteps, and that is the way you will get to the next level. I appreciate all the comments from our viewers and subscribers who look up to me as their mentor. I'm very humbled. I'm just a regular guy like everyone else. My goal is to simply bring you the news and to help you live the American dream. This right here on your screen is a cycle of poverty that I was able to overcome. In fact, this right here is a little bit of information about me. I encourage you to check out my video. You'll learn more about how I was able to overcome the cycle of poverty and how I was able to live the American dream. Follow me on Twitter. Right here's my Twitter feed. Our Twitter handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. Follow us on Twitter so that you can get the latest news and breaking alerts on Twitter. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.